This is going to look so awesome on the display behind me. Hello there. And as you saw, if you did watch Monday's live stream, don't worry, you didn't miss too much of the video, but you got to see me building these miniature dioramas live. I am shrinking down my diorama collection, all 6 of them, but I am keeping the Tantive boarding built. And this is a pure case of favoritism. I just like this one too much to break down, and because it uses most of the pieces, at least this back row here is based purely on the set. I don't need these pieces for other mocks, and I'm really happy with how this is. I'll leave the video for this one, and in fact I'll leave the playlist on the end screen if you want to check out some of these original dioramas. However, that said, I don't have a lot of room to display Lego in my Lego room. In fact, I have a lot of room, but I also have a lot of Lego to display. So I have this red acrylic case, which you can pick up off lego.com. Though, like I said last time when I bought this up, I own the red one and the blue one. I recommend getting the Harry Potter licensed tan one, as it can usually be found about £10 cheaper. I believe these are only £25, £35, and they do come with a really nice cover, which keeps the dust off all of your Lego. But it's been a long time since I've displayed my minifigures on this. The blue one is still full of all the Harry Potter minifigures. This used to be my Marvel and other minifigures before Marvel overtook the bottom row and moved on to the top. And since then, of course, we have the new update, which I'm working on for the new year. So be sure to drop a like if you enjoy this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. But that means I've got this whole display free. And if you don't own one of these, you won't know that you get 6 8x16 plates to fill these displays, and my dioramas are usually built using 3 of those 8x16 plates. So rather than trying to spread out a diorama and only fit 2 in, I am reducing each of these plates to 1/3 of the size. In fact, I've already done it. You would have seen it in Monday's live stream. And the first diorama we reduced is Luke Skywalker's Dark Trooper attack, or when the Dark Troopers attack Luke Skywalker, and it looks so cute. This is based off the set, and I have made this wall with 2 stickers removable so that at some point in the near or far future, I will be able to update it to use actual plates. And as there's only 1 wall rather than the 3 in the original diorama, because we have had to reduce it by 8 studs in that dimension, it makes it so much easier to improve. And this will be our first diorama on the brand new display. Hopefully you can see where we're going with this. This will still be behind me with all the other helmets on top. You won't get a good look from this camera angle, but hopefully you'll all know that it's there. And like I said, this is only 1. There is room for 5 others. And though you only saw 5 in the stream, I did go revisit one of the others where you see the Tantive diorama isn't being broken down, but we might still have a Tantive display in this display. But as you've already seen, the process behind building these and some of the closer looks in the stream, I'll only give you a quick flash now. And if you did want that closer look, you can go back, watch the stream. It's actually a Q&A, so you will also get to know more about myself. But the second diorama we shrunk down is Mauls. Again, we're taking the walls from the original diorama, and actually most of the tiles I've used to tile these off come from the Kenobi diorama from Fortress Inquisitorius, which you will be seeing later. I have added 1 brick on the side just because the walls were built in multiples of 2, and because we've got a little overlap at the corner just back here, it did mean I had to use some extra bricks from other dioramas. Though most of the extra bricks I used from each of these dioramas have come from shrinking down some of the others, which is really, really nice. But we put Maul's diorama on the side, and you're starting to see the shape that this is taken. It looks like we've got 2 bookends here. So what better to put in the middle? In fact, I will come back to the middle right at the end, as it's the last one I've built. But the next diorama up was the Jedi Survivor, specifically the battle with Rick, the door technician. No spoilers for the game. If you haven't played it, you can continue watching. However, there's a problem with this diorama. You see, on the back, we have a door from the original model that sticks out by a plate and a bracket, or a plate and a half, which wouldn't fit on the bottom row. So it makes sense that this will be going on the top. Again, I've modified this. This is one of the only dioramas I've actually shrunk down just a little bit and removed 2 bricks between each of the walls. So between the door and the corner of the wall, then the corner and the door again, the door and the blast door. Total of 6 bricks shrunk down, but that was just to fit all the detail on the one plate. And to be fair, I still think it holds up to a plausible minifigure scale. Of course, we don't have exact measurements for the hallways we see in the Jedi game franchise, and I doubt there'll be a book exploring them anytime soon. So it might not be the same minifigure scale as the original diorama, which I'm not even sure I've uploaded instructions for. But most of the other ones do have instructions both given to members for absolutely no extra cost at the higher brick tier. And also you can find most of these over on Rebrickable, especially Dark Trooper Attack, and that Tantive diorama has been quite popular over on Rebrickable. Now, the last diorama I actually built on the stream was the start of Ahsoka, when Baylan absolutely goes through all the New Republic troopers. However, the original diorama didn't have any New Republic troopers. In fact, I used Lego City Octan troopers, a total of 5 of them, and really, they stand no chance against a former Jedi. But this was pretty easy to convert. Once again, I've just popped the wall off the original diorama and included that on here. We do have one gap on the far left that I did originally fill up. I'm not sure if that was caught on the stream. However, I reverted it back to exactly how I have it in the original diorama, just to make room for the controls of the blast door in the neighboring diorama. But this does fit nicely in the middle, and like I said, you can see the blast doors have started that nice diagonal angle, and that continues on not only in this Ahsoka diorama. So far, we've gone through Mandalorian, we've gone Clone Wars, we've gone the Jedi game franchise, we've gone Ahsoka. What about the Kenobi show? There were a few fights, but only one hallway scene. These are all based off hallway scenes. So of course we're taken from Fortress Inquisitorius, the Kenobi hallway scene, where he kind of floods the troopers. I'm not quite sure if you're allowed to use the elements in these hallway scenes, but Kenobi does anyway. I guess there's no high ground underwater. But I've kept that diagonal wall, which matches up to Baylan's attack in Ahsoka. And actually, a fun fact about these dioramas I completely didn't notice, but they actually line up in the bases as well, which is something that isn't as common, but you'll find it with the lower 3 too. So last but not least, you have waited long enough for the final Tantive diorama, and I've had a little bit of fun here, I will admit. I went back, revisited the battle pack that I made from the original set using spare pieces I had left over from the diorama, and tried to incorporate as much as the set as I could without increasing the cost of building this yourself. So if you do want to build these yourself, I'll probably try and get the instructions for all 6 of these and upload them in one bundle, so you only need to pay for one set of instructions. But you can see we have a Grievous-styled Darth Vader with not only 4 arms, but 4 lightsabers chasing this poor rebel trooper who really stands absolutely no chance. Vader's just toying with his food here. But the actual design of the back, I think, is more interesting than the diorama sat behind me. Don't get me wrong, that one probably looks better on display, but there are no stickers here. In fact, the vent piece is probably one of the best techniques I have put in any of the mocks sat around me. I have used 2 of the superhero posers and tried to angle the bricks around it to cover up any of the gaps. There's a little gap on the side, but once again, if you really wanted to cover that up, you could cut a little white sticker from the edge of one of your Lego sheets to make it absolutely seamless. And I really like the angle that I've got it on. Alternatively, you could just place it in a system, have it a bit squared off, and I don't think it would look that bad. But we have tiled off the top of this as well. Unlike the original set, the back is mostly white, and definitely you can cover up the remaining studs if you wanted to with something like a 2x4 plate. But I'm really not that fussed, as it's going to be against the back of this display anyway, and slotting this in just between the other 2. You can see what I meant at the start of the video. I mean, besides the red patch between the door of the Dark Trooper Attack, which can be easily covered up with a sheet of paper, this is just so clean, and I'm really not that fussed about it not having that black diorama base, which I did at some point consider adding to this display. Now, with the top of the Tantive boarding diorama, the Vader hallway scene, you can see it lines up to the Ahsoka Baylan skull attack so well, and that kind of goes for the other two dioramas as well. But I think the most impressive thing about this is the fact that all 6 hallway dioramas fit so well together, and I'm definitely going to have to get a custom backboard that has some fish and water to improve the Kenobi diorama that much more. But let me know if you'd like to see any other hallway dioramas created in this 8x16 display, because if you do not have this unit, you can just expand these, and perhaps these would be great bookends. You can definitely modify these designs as well to stack them on top of each other if you are worried about the space in your room. But I think this is a really good way of displaying, and rather than purchasing a third-party acrylic display case, I think for the price of this through lego.com, which I have said before here on the channel is quite expensive, especially with some of their most recent sets, I think this is a great opportunity to build different displays. They don't have to be dioramas or hallway scenes, but just on 8x16 base plates, little scenes using your favorite minifigures, or perhaps using one to display each of your minifigures, dependent on how big they are. You definitely fit like 1.5 big figs on each plate. Give it a go. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And this is going straight on the back wall with the helmets on top. Hopefully there's not too much glare and you can admire from afar. But that is all for today's video. Be sure to check out the playlist of all my dioramas, which doesn't just include my Star Wars ones, but there's also Minecraft, Mario, and even most recently Fortnite, which was a lot larger than any of these. I'll also leave the live stream on screen now if you did miss it and want to see how I put some of these together. But thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. May the bricks be with you always.